If you are down in today, you can make your way down to the City of Scottsdale's All Things Senior event. We're at the Scottsdale Center for Performing Arts right in the heart of downtown. If you come down to watch a spring training game with the Giants, they're down in this area. Bobby Levin, Safeguard Estate and Financial Planning. Thanks for joining us. Next in the hot seat today.
Thank you.
So talk to us about your business. What does Safeguard do?
Okay, well, it's Safeguard Estate and Financial, and we do estate planning, wills, living trusts, powers of attorney, whole estate plan project. We assist everybody here in Arizona. We have over 20,000 customers here in Arizona.
Okay.
Currently.
Wow. Holy cow.
And you can reach us very easily through phone or emails, anything you like.
So estate planning on this. So we know mom and dad, you guys are talking with a lot of moms and dads down there. Is there kind of getting comfortable where that is? When family members are making a call, generally when is a family member reaching out to you? What are they calling to you about?
Well, sometimes they're calling about, how do they protect their parents? What's going on? What's the best thing for their parents to do?
Yeah.
And that's one of the best things they can ask us.
Okay.
The issues we have today, it's not just protecting everything we worked our whole life for. We have to protect ourselves while we're alive. And that's a big issue.
Yeah.
And we only have two choices. It's a will or a living trust. And a trust protects you while you're alive. It prepares you for the absolute worst possible scenario that can happen to you and anything in between. And you hope you never need to utilize it.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And then it'll give everything away for you. And it'll prevent judges and attorneys and bankers and doctors and nurses and social workers from interfering with your parents or your estate.
That is,
if it's yours, yes.
That's fantastic. And especially, you mentioned especially the doctors were clearly out of the pandemic. It's our second year, back out of the pandemic doing this show here. One thing that I think we learned coming through is these days, a single medical event can wipe out a lot of that retirement savings. And that really sits like a cloud over the top of people's heads, right? What should people be thinking about with their planning?
It's really important. So when you're talking about protecting yourself while you're alive, here's the thing. I like to compare these things to chairs. When we give you a complete estate plan, you get a trust, you get a will inside the trust. If you're married, you each get one. And you get all your medical and financial powers of attorney, HIPAA, living wills, everything.
Okay.
So if we compare these things to chairs, there's three chairs that are really important that we choose someone to occupy these seats in the event of an emergency, so the powers that be can't do it for us.
I see.
First one's medical power of attorney.
Yeah.
If your spouse is in the hospital and you show up and you don't have documents in perpetuity, meaning in advance, the ones that continue ongoing, then you have to count on the hospital. And if your spouse gets in there unconscious, they cannot authorize them to tell you anything or allow you to make any decisions. So you'll show up and they'll tell you to mind your own business.
Right. Let alone kids.
Well, yeah.
like that's a whole other. But okay.
But that's the issue.
That's the issue.
So if you have the documents ahead of time, like if my wife was in the hospital, I show up, I'm in charge. I'm the boss.
Yeah.
They have to tell me what's wrong. And I'm the one who makes decisions, not them. And they can't leverage me into doing anything that I don't think is appropriate. That's the first chair.
That's the first chair.
The second one's financial power of attorney. So if you're in the hospital for any length of time, someone can pay bills for you. You don't have other issues when you get out.
Okay.
The third chair is the most important one, conservatorship.
Okay.
Only a judge establishes conservatorship. Only a trust can do it in advance. Okay. Even a judge can't do that.
Yeah.
So if I use a real life example like Terry Schiavo, that went on for 15 years.
Right.
She had a heart attack. That's all it was, but it was a big one. And it took almost 7 full minutes for the responders to arrive and resuscitate her. So she had no brain activity, even though she was breathing. The moment they went to the hospital, the state of Florida was appointed as the conservator. Wow. So they're in charge and they're not going to honor any powers of attorney. And they're paying themselves $1,500 a month from Mr. and Mrs. Schiavo's bank account.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Schiavo had to petition the court for guardianship and he won, but it took 8 years.
Yeah.
He stopped that money and pulled out the feeding tube, and they put the feeding tube back 3 days later for another 7 years because her parents took them back to court.
Wow.
So it went on for 15 years.
So getting in front of setting up that third chair in the conservatorship, that's a key in that pre-planning so that if your family finds itself in that situation.
Trust does it automatically.
Yeah.
We tell you the positions and it's very easy. They're just automatic.
Okay.
If my wife ended up in the hospital, I'm automatically her conservator. If I didn't have a trust, then it's either an attorney or me. I have to petition the court for guardianship. And if they let me do it, now I have a court liaison. and they oversee everything, and I need permission to spend or do anything I want to take care of her.
Yeah.
Without a trust, if they give me the opportunity to do that. Otherwise, it's an attorney. If I have a trust, they're out. They don't have any say-so, and I'm in charge.
So families trying to help, let's say parent's not married anymore, maybe one's deceased, and so they're next up, like they're the family member that's going to have to step up into that. 3 chairs, it sounds like they need to get knocked out of the park. They need to sit down and figure out who's going to sit into those seats. How do they find you?
They don't have to step into that position because it's automatic, and it's only there.
Right.
God forbid they need it.
Yeah.
It's just there.
So how do you find
Safeguard? You can either go on Safeguard Estate and Financial is the name of the business. So you can find us on Facebook on Safeguard Estate and Financial, or you can find our website on safeguardyourestate.com. That's one word, safeguardyourestate.com. You find our website. You can call the office at 480-842-5000, 842-5000. You can reach us any one of those ways.
You're very reachable.
Yes. All our cell phones, you'll find out that we give our cell phones out on our business cards. And anyone that works with us, we make sure that you sign something that says we can't share any of your information unless you tell us we can first.
Yeah.
So we're all about protecting the customer.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And so as the family members get in there, they can expect that as mom and dad are having those conversations, mom and dad still have that autonomy. They're doing everything they can do, and kids they just need to get the ball started sometime. So that's great. They can give you a call.
And yes, and what the trust does is after they've passed away,
they
don't need permission from any of the institutions to do anything because it's a trust. They just go take care of it.
Yeah.
They can sell the house or do whatever it is they're supposed to do without any interference or any objections from anyone.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, planning that out. I love the way that you laid it down within the 3 chairs. That's a great way to start thinking about that. So thank you so much for sharing your time, talents, and treasures with us.
It's been my pleasure.
Have a great show out here. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Levin.
Thank you.
And we will be back right after this for the City of Scottsdale's 2023 All Things Senior Expo.